Wubbalubba Dubdub!
That was all, Kien.
We are live from the Brojo,
Woot woot.
talking about that Rick and Morty.
That one show that seems to have everybody hooked.
Right,
'Cause
so
it's fucking awesome.
I'm Kien Ibanez,
I'm Max Schooley.
and just in the heart of Rick and Morty,
We're not sober.
we're drunk. And this is it's introspective, right?
What? For what?
It's not retrospective, it's
No, this is
introspective.
an introspective,
It's
yeah.
an introspective of what makes Rick and Morty so good.
Yay!
Yay! So, what is Rick and Morty?
It's a not future sci-fi fantasy bullshittery TV show.
Yes. Well, in the basis, it's a science fiction show
It's a science fiction comedy.
that follows the adventures of Rick Sanchez.
And Morty Smith. Yeah.
Rick Sanchez is a crazy scientist slash genius,
Slash
time
asshole.
traveler,
Yeah.
alcoholic.
Yeah.
And Morty is unwillingly, for some parts, his sidekick on all these crazy adventures.
Yep. And
It's a-
Morty is his son, by the way.
Grandson.
Yeah, grandson.
Beth
Fucking.
is his daughter, yeah.
So I was so close.
Right.
I
right,
thought
right.
grandson in my head, and I was like,
Yes.
but like that's too far away,
Right,
because I was
right.
thinking great grandfather, and then
Right.
yeah,
No, you're fine. You're
We'll
fine.
we'll get there.
Yeah. Whoa. That's that kind of podcast. So,
Yeah.
no. So what you have here is attuned to the classic adventure science fiction from the 1980s, such as Back to the Future, with a dark, sardonic comedy that goes
Yeah, it appears as a lighter show, but like when you actually watch it, it's got very dark and depressing undertones through a lot of it.
So at the first glance, when you look at Rick and Morty, you notice that Rick's an alcoholic,
Yeah,
and Morty is very submissive comparatively.
very
And
much.
the world itself is weird and bizarre. Turning your normal suburban household into a party, like turning your normal suburban household into a party for aliens and whatnot.
Yeah,
So, like we said, what does make Rick and Morty so good? And the first we want to talk about is the humor.
it's funny. It hits its jokes well.
And it's not even just that. The humor in itself, there are a lot of callbacks within the show
Oh yeah, it makes
that
you.
makes it even funnier.
Yeah, it makes you feel like if you haven't watched something that they're callbacking to, you might not think it's as funny.
Right.
But like they're very good at like putting little jabs at things here and there.
There are some, like, one of my favorite jokes was the Mr. Poopyhead joke, where he gets shot because no one could think of a bad
No one can think of
memory
a
with him.
bad memory with him.
And then he's like, oh, it's okay. I'll just die.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, God. Why?
You bastards.
The humor really kicks in when it comes to the episode where you find out Rick's battery in his vehicle is actually a small pocket dimension.
It's a pocket dimension.
that he's using.
Yeah. He is
you-
taking the excess energy produced from the pocket dimension to power his car.
And then it goes into this more and more fucked up pocket dimensions.
Yeah, the pocket dimensions are at an accelerated rate, so they're reaching the point of advanced people much faster.
And other pocket dimensions are doing the same thing.
Yeah, so
they are
like the
doing.
original pocket dimension created a pocket dimension to create energy.
And then that pocket dimension created a pocket dimension, and then they killed him. It's such an
it's
interesting.
such a convoluted,
It's an interesting concept within itself.
right?
And another one, another good joke is Adolf Lincoln.
Yes.
Like his
Such a
philosophical background is so hard to look at, and it's just kind of
right.
insane.
Adolf Lincoln is Adolf Hitler and Lincoln fused together in a cyborg, and it's
And-
just weird as shit.
Right. his philosophical what he should be doing is just kicking
Torn.
him. Yeah, torn in
So
between.
torn.
But then let's go into the science fiction in itself, since we're talking about Adolf Lincoln.
Oh my god.
The amount of the idea of parallel, or the way they take the idea of parallel Earths and creating a council of these, of Ricks that
Yeah, the
control
council
the
of
universe.
Ricks.
It's insanely crazy.
Yeah, they have categorized every known universe, and there's a Rick in like 9 out of 10 of them. And they all collaborated together to form a council of Ricks to protect Rick.
From destroying the universe.
Or from other people, because he's quote-unquote the most genius person ever. So a bunch of governments from aliens everywhere and enemies and shit want to fuck with him.
Oh, exactly.
So, yeah. And the Rick that the TV show follows is like anti-Rick. He doesn't join the council. Because
Right.
he's the Rickiest Rick of all the Ricks.
Right.
But you're just like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Right, and the idea that they need a Morty to hide their genius is
Yeah, because...
such a weird concept, because it throws Morty into this like self-actualization of what his use is for Rick.
Yeah, at first, like, in the beginning, like, most of season 1, Morty thinks that Rick actually likes him, and that's why he's taking him on all these adventures. And then it, like, crumbles down around him. And then, like, for a little bit, it tries to rebuild that, like, Rick actually cares for Morty.
I mean, it does, and we'll get into that when we talk about the emotion.
Yeah.
But the science fiction is insane that, like,
Oh, yeah.
all these alien species exist.
Oh my god, there's
like,
so many.
There's Gearface, which is not really his real name, but Rick can't remember his name.
Rick can't remember his name.
There's Birdman.
Who basically is Hawkman.
Right. Squanch.
Squanch. The fucking... There's so many. Like, I'm Mr. Meeseeks.
Right. There's just this weird idea of not just parallel Earths, but an entire planets filled with strange
Right.
and bizarre aliens.
They explore the universe, and then parallel universes along with it.
Right.
Like, there's an entire episode where Rick puts a fucking crystal on their their cable box, and they get channels from the multiverse across the universe. And, like, there's billions of channels now. And they
Right.
fucking happen to stumble across a TV show about their alternate selves.
Right.
And they're like, the hell is going on?
Right. And the next thing we're going to bring up is the characters.
Yeah.
I think that when you have characters such as Rick Sanchez and Morty Smith, Rick at first glance is an asshole.
Very much.
But as the story progresses, you see that he is a hateful, self-hating...
He's a self-hating, incredibly depressed person.
Right, and it's insane to see that.
Yeah, and he's only an asshole to everyone because he doesn't like himself so much.
Right. But he wishes this Rick at least wishes well for
his family.
For his family.
Excluding
Jerry. But I don't even like Jerry either.
He does kind of like Jerry because he gave him Morty and Beth, but like at the same time...
And Spencer's the daughter, Beth is the mom.
Oh, is Spencer the daughter?
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
Okay.
We live
whatever.
in Spencer, come on.
I don't pay attention to shit. But like, yeah, like he hates him, but like...
He can't because he gave him Morty.
Yeah, like he hates him, but at the same time he kind of enjoys him a little bit. Like he just has him around to fuck with him at most points.
Right. And then you have Morty himself,
Mm-hmm.
who in the first season you would consider him to be the avatar of every person about to watch Rick and Morty, because he's being thrown into these adventures and has no idea what's going on.
Fucking
He's so lost. And so are you, and you are progressing with Morty about what the fuck that is going on. But as time grows, Morty progresses, and there was things I totally forgot that Morty made me remember, is that they're not the same Rick and Morty from the universe that
they're in now. Yeah,
now. It's insane.
Right, the universe they live now is not their original home universe. Like
Right.
it's weird. The TV show is convoluted as shit.
But it's so meta with all of its episodes.
Oh yeah.
Then you have the family as another strong proponent of the series. Like Beth is so
pivotal.
She's
huge.
mentally broken for the fact that like she knows her dad does terrible things.
Yeah.
But because her dad left at such a young age.
And then
she
just showed up again.
And she is conflicted onto.
Like she can't lose him again, so she's so emotionally attached to him.
And trying to keep him
like,
there.
That she does whatever she can to keep him around, even though he's an ass to everyone.
Right.
But then it's at like the end of season 2 that like she realizes he's an ass to everyone, just for her, basically.
Right.
Like, he's an ass to her, but it's all for her.
Right, and that's where I stand about that. Then you go with Jerry, who is.
I don't mind Jerry.
I like Jerry. I like the Jerry episodes because Jerry's played off to be such a dumbass.
He is dumb, but like at the same time, he's just such a heartfelt person. But he's so dumb. All he cares about is providing for his family. No matter trying to. No matter how stupid he is, no matter how bad he fails, all he really wants is to make his family happy. Like, he fucking sucks at it 90% of the time.
I hit a deer and I can't be driving. Why? This is rum raisin.
Lol. God. You're like, what the shit? But at the same time, you're like, alright. Like, he tries to be such a caring person. And he'd probably be a really good paternal person if he wasn't in the family that had Rick.
Right. I think Jerry's hilarious, though, because, like, Jerry's so incompetent that they need to have a Jerry nursery for when they go off worlds. But no, Jerry's also kind of a selfish asshole, too, because there's that episode where, like, the guy's heart is the same shape as Jerry's penis, and, like, he decides not to do it because he doesn't want to lose his dick.
Yeah.
And like, you know, Jerry is just.
Well, I mean, it's almost reasonable. Like, would you want to chop your dick off to save some random person you just met?
If it means I'm famous.
I don't give a shit.
I give a shit.
It's my dick.
You're not using it right now.
Yeah, because I'm sitting on your couch.
Touché.
I hope I'm not using it right now.
That's good.
I'm not that drunk.
Oh God. Then we jumps into Spencer, who is Rick's sister, who is also who at first is just a
Morty's
minor
sister.
character. Yeah, Morty's sister shit.
Yeah.
Who's a minor character and has progressed
so
at the end of
much.
season 3 to be an important, prominent character.
Yeah. She gets pulled along and stuff randomly throughout the series, but like she becomes more and more
prominent. And I think another reason that this show is so interesting is all the pop culture references.
All of the references.
There's a Cronenberg reference, like Morty. There's a Cronenberg universe. We're gonna go to that one. It just looks like the Cronenberg universe. There's so many references. Like Human Park is a play on Jurassic Park.
Right.
And Pirates of the Pancreas is the play on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Like the TV show literally takes its basis off of anything going on.
Right.
Just like most comedies, like they take a lot of their shit off the dumb shit that's going on.
Right, but there was a Purge episode that I thought was one of the most interesting episodes ever.
Oh yeah.
Because it was like, it wasn't like a modern day Purge like you saw in the movies, but it was like a ye olden town that did purges.
Right, but they pulled it off very well. It looked cool as shit. I mean, they fucked up that area's Purge pretty hardcore. But it was fun.
Right, yeah.
Like I kind of equate this to like an animated, incredibly dark and humorous Doctor Who. Is how I see this TV show.
I can understand that reference a lot.
Like every episode is not continuous story because they jump around and do all kinds of bullshittery every episode. But it's the same plot line eventually. Yeah.
Like then we gotta get into the raw emotion of the show.
Jesus.
Like the low-key emotion that is within the show.
The shit that they don't straight up tell you, yeah.
It's just like, God damn it.
Right?
There was the episode where he tries to hook up with his ex-girlfriend, Unix, or something like that.
I don't know. The
hive mind.
The hive mind.
And he breaks up with her.
She breaks up with him.
And the only reason he does not die that episode is he's so drunk
that he fucking can't
that
do
he fucking can't do it.
Yeah.
And then another episode that really hits you is like why he says "WUBBALUBBA DUBDUB," and you find out like it's a Birdman language for like I miss you and care.
Yeah. Or the one where he's Kid Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that one is like he's fucking dying.
Yeah.
Because he's not in his body. Like it's weird shit.
Right. And I think the one that really hits Morty the most, that hits Morty with a lot of emotion, is the Ice-T, the Get Swifty episode where Morty takes the portal gun and disappears.
Yeah.
And is about to die, and Birdman saves him and explains to him, like, Morty did not know that Rick knew Morty as a baby.
Yeah.
And he's like, he was always there for you.
He's always been there.
He
wasn't there. Like, since Morty was born, Rick has been incredibly near.
Right.
The whole time.
Right.
And that it almost goes back to the Morty needs to be used as a shield, but at the same time, it makes you realize, holy shit, Rick is a horrible person, but he cares so much.
If you look, he is called out by Evil Rick in the episode where you find out the Council of Rick exists.
Yeah.
Because Rick is like looking through all of the fucking pictures of him.
Yeah.
And Morty, and he's tearing up. And the other Rick's like, wow, affection for your Morty. That's gonna get you killed.
Yep.
Oh wait, it did. And so you find out that like this Rick actually really cares for his family.
Right.
And has a sheer love for them.
And you're like, what the fuck? Because this TV show is so relatable and so not at the same time that you don't know how to feel. Like a good third of it.
Just some endings of some episodes just really get you. Like,
oh yeah, they tear you up.
One episode is the giant Morty fucks a sex robot and creates a weird creature.
Yeah.
You're like, ha ha ha, that's hilarious. And then the next episode you see is Rick's about to kill himself because he knows he's a worthless pile of shit, and you're like, God damn it.
Yeah, right? Like, the ending is probably the last 5 minutes of every episode is probably the most important part of this TV show.
Right.
Because it's so emotionally roller coaster. Like, one episode ends on such a high note, and you know the next episode is either going to sit on that high note or plummet so fucking far that you're probably going to start tearing up a little bit.
Right. Which would be season 2's finale.
Oh my god, that ending where Rick, like, basically gives himself up. You're just like, holy shit.
They bring humor into it where Rick is just talking shit about Jerry, but then that last scene is just heart-wrenching.
So heart-wrenching.
Their family is safe, Rick is in jail, and he realizes the only reason that they're safe is because he had to turn himself in.
Yep. And you're just like, holy fuck.
Which I'm hoping they go into something different, though, because season 3's episode 1, for me personally, ruined Rick's progression as a character.
It did right up to, like, the last 2 lines that Rick had, and you're like, wait a second, what? The fuck just happened?
Right, you thought Rick was doing it all for good, and then at the end he's like, nah, Morty, nah, I did it all. I was like, you ruined everything that you, like, grew for this character.
Yeah, and then at the very end he's like, the adventures are gonna keep going, Morty. It's gonna be you, it's gonna be Beth, it's gonna be, what's her name, Spencer, but never Jerry. Never Jerry. And then, like, that's the end, and you're like, I don't know how I fucking feel anymore.
Right.
This shit is going on.
Right. You're like, you had so much emotion for Rick. Like, you know he was a bad person, but like, you.
But he did the right thing, and then the very next opening episode of that season, you're like, the fuck did I just watch?
Right, you kind of ruined it, but like, it doesn't make you not want to see the show.
Oh no.
I think you should all like, even if you're not a big fan of science fiction, I wasn't gonna give Rick and Morty a try when it first came out.
I was. I knew the second I
thought
saw
it looked too weird for me.
See, I watched Doctor Who though.
Right.
Like, there is not anything weird enough that I'm gonna go, I probably shouldn't watch that.
But I highly recommend Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah.
Like, if I could rate the show, I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
I'd probably give it an 8.5, 8 out of 10.
Right, and I would recommend it, and this is why you should watch Rick and Morty.
Yeah, and I know we said we're not going to hype shit up, but this is probably the most hype we're gonna give it.
I think when we say hype shit up, it's like we're not gonna just look at it like movies and TV shows are completely different.
Right, watching a trailer and getting hyped for it, we're not gonna do. But something we've watched and appreciated, we will tell you, holy shit,
this looks amazing.
This is awesome. Even if you don't like it, watch a couple episodes, or have it playing in the background. It'll give you a few chuckles, it'll be something playing, and you'll probably appreciate some parts of it.
Oh, exactly.
There is something in this TV show for everyone.
Right, and this is why this is gonna kick off. This episode on Monday is going to kick off our Rick and Morty week as well.
Yeah.
Max and I will be being intoxicated all day doing things for Rick and Morty.
Tomorrow?
Today.
Oh, today, yeah.
We're going to be playing Bioshock Infinite today as well, which will be posted on Tuesday.
Yay.
Alrighty.
That's going to be fun.
Oh,
all right.
very much so. I'm Kien Ibanez.
I'm Max Schooley.
Have a good day.
Woo!